Yeah. So yeah. Okay. The recording has started. Okay. Perfect. So can you guys hear me good?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
All right. Perfect. So so as I understand, basically the major point of the call is just to explain the most hard pressing issues. So basically let me start. So like currently, to the best of my knowledge, the major thing is exactly the bounty. So the bounty was really like, it took a lot of time. It's quite a complex organizational matter because there were guys who were we wanted to do this bounty as professionally as possible. So we had guys who were doing it. And so unfortunately, how it happened to be that these guys were not as professional as we hoped they will be. So, Luke, could you please just in a few words explain what exactly was what was the point with the bounty? Why, why it took so long, and why it finally, I think, came to a.
Yeah, sure. So the point with the bounty was that the third party that was taking care of it, they had some issue with the spreadsheets. So they had a lot of issues there.
The issues with the spreadsheets,
which had to be. Yeah, I'm not even sure what exactly the issue was. That all I know is that they were telling me that there is just an issue with the spreadsheets, which the bounty had to be resolved within 2 weeks post ICO. But apparently it took a couple of months, and now as of recent we've been forcing Bounty Hive to complete this bounty because if we weren't contacting them daily a couple of times a day, they would never I think they would never distribute this bounty. We've heard that also other projects had similar experience with Bounty Hive, which is really unfortunate. But luckily, we expect that in the next 24 hours the distribution of tokens will start. We've sent the tokens that the people should receive. So now Bounty Hive just have to distribute them, which we hope is going to take 2-3 days for everyone to receive their tokens.
Yeah. So today is 22nd. Today is 22nd of May. So like three days we hope it's gonna. So like basically the tokens have left our wallet, so they're currently there. It's up to them to finally distribute.
Yeah. So that the bounty is on the way really this time.
Okay, but it still took 2 months. My question was why wouldn't you step over to another bounty distributor if it's taking longer than a month? We're still holding on to this tutor, colorless guy. The tokens were the transaction of the tokens happened 2 or 3 days ago, I guess. We're 2 months over time. So I was wondering, why did you stick with Tudor?
Yeah, well, so basically, the thing is that given that, unfortunately, the company with which you start doing it, they keep all the data, they keep all the info. So like after you start with it, you basically cannot switch. Well, I mean, you can do so, but it's going to be an organizational nightmare, and in the end, it's going to, even if it's like the best company, still, like given the difficulties switching from one to the other, passing all the data from one to the other, like communication, therefore between, so like now it's like there would be a third party, another intermediary. So like we would have to communicate the workings of the 2 bounty companies, one of which is already not so like, perfectly well operating. And the second one is, like you're still having the same risks of it being like as professional, less professional, or much less professional even, could happen. And that already could turn into something completely unmanageable. So it's already, once you stick to one of them, it's already like just makes sense to keep it.
You're forced to that one. Yeah, I get it.
So that's regarding the bounty. So guys. So like it's gonna be done. It's gonna be done already like very soon. So given how much people have been waiting, I think it's already like not so much left.
Yeah, I think it really harms the product. It's not your fault if it's Tudor was waiting this long. I don't know exactly his true problems with it, but it did harm the project in some way, short term, long term, I don't know. But at this moment, people lose faith in Spade because this bounty distributing and especially the promises. Then we said another week, and by this week, and the week later, within 24 hours, and it kept on moving the deadline. It's not that I think it took so long, but especially the moving of the deadline that lost faith, and I think we have to regain the trust now in some other way. So to come to another question about more videos from FNG and Alexei. I think if the Spade administrators or the developers put themselves more out there, people gain more trust in the project as a whole, that there's actually something developing and such. So what is your opinion on this matter?
Yeah, guys, so here let me just, make several, I'll say basically several things. So one of them is already something we have been speaking about on that 9 minutes or 10 minutes video that we, myself and Lou, made public. So that was, so basically the idea is that the ICO project, so like a fundraising project, and the project, like the actual company, the actual software development part of the thing, are completely separate and different things, which require completely different stack and completely different people, completely different organization. So basically everything is completely different. So like one of the parts is to why the deadlines have been kept on changing, and basically why so many things went not exactly like 100% right is exactly these things. So this kind of sticky process of switching from the ICO to a real company. So, and that's also like something that gives us hope that in the future it's going to be much better than it used to be, just because this time we have been spending on several things. So one of them is the development. So regarding the development, it's a separate topic, so let me just skip it for now. So regarding the organization, we have finally managed to basically set up the things more or less right. So we have the process now organized. So now the things are being taken seriously, are being taken quite quickly into their consideration, being basically resolved. So all those days and weeks that for example the deadlines for the bounty have been switching is just because like there was a big lack of human resources to manage the entire thing, and at the same time while managing the processes, while managing the post ICO routine that has been promised during the ICO like bounty. There also has been like a major push towards the development, because basically one of the big differences between the IPO and ICO companies is that the IPO companies normally are having the product first and then they're getting the funding. And in the ICO world, it's a bit separate differently. So like there is a concept, there is basically the dream to pursue, and then already first there is funding, and then already the development of the product, or like the sharpening of the product begins. So that's why we also have been thinking like the scarcity of human resources that are qualified enough to be able to develop something not just in the crypto domain, but something mathematically complex, something like Spade, basically, because it's more like it's more a mathematical project than it is pure programming kind of. So like it really requires a very particular set of skills on the development side. So while we were searching with our limited resources already for people who actually can take many of the things that are in the product specification and who can make it properly and good, because basically, as you understand, we have not a single chance of failure, because once our protocol, let's say, which we make public and which we integrate with one of the casinos, let's say, fails, then we're never going to regain the trust again. It's just once one shot and that's it. So that's why it had to be taken very seriously, and we spent a lot of effort and a lot of time on finding the right people who could do it, and also specifying in the right way what our protocol, so that not to have something like DAO Casino where basically people are saying that, guys, I have nothing against DAO Casino. They're cool guys, but still, it's like, guys, thank you for the money. Now we're going to be doing the research, and we're going to be doing the research until we get it right. So we don't want to do it this way. We want to have a working, functional, flexible product that, that has quite quick time to market and stuff like this. So, to be able to come up with a specification that would allow for this set of properties, that also took a lot of time. And so that basically is the whole idea why so many things went not exactly right. So limited stack of people, very aspiring, let's say, product, and so that was basically the thing, and that's why it's set to change right now, because we have the developers, we're gonna have this week a major update on the product, the one which we have promised, and and the right set of people who are now managing the thing, right organization. So that's why now we're going to be doing it better than we used to. So that's basically the like something like a very scattered answer on your question.
Yeah. So do you guys have any other questions that you'd like us to address? Or we can ask you some questions, or you could ask someone from the advisors a question. Is there something you want to ask?
Yeah, if there's something the developers want to ask us, go ahead. Looks like a good time to start with.
Michael, would you like to ask something, or I can go ahead?
So go ahead right now, because you see what happens when I start asking like it.
Yeah, it goes on and on. Yeah, so it's simple questions, right? What we wanted to know from the people that believe in Spade is, why did you choose Spade? Why do you invest your time and effort? Because you're also admins in the Telegram, and in the future we'd like you to also be moderators in the forum, post news, and be much closer to the team than the rest of the investors. Why do you believe in Spade? What made you like Spade, basically?
Well, at the first it was I invested in some ICOs, but what took my attention to Spade was good people that I know from the Telegram group, like Chris. I talked to him privately, and Sonia too, and we got to talk with each other, and then eventually we decided to get an admin holders group. But what I saw a bit of lack of some community with the community, of lack of communication with the community, and I don't know. I just like to ask to answer these questions that were asked. I know a lot about Spade. I read the white paper a few times, not all, but one time from A to Z, and sometimes to look things up. Furthermore, I'm really interested in poker itself. I would like to see Spade in some form eventually, like in 2019 you were planning, end of 2019 to 2020 maybe. I would like to see some poker on the blockchain, and poker with some SPX tokens. Therefore I didn't really understand the random number generator by the you guys set up in the white paper some calculations how that would be done. I didn't fully understand it, but I'm trying to get a hang of it. I think it's mostly the community itself. So the people who believe in Spade. I feel attached to them. I agree with them, and I haven't seen this in other ICOs didn't see this as well. So I think this is my side of the view. I see Sonia just joined.
Sonia, are you sure?
So she might be.
Yeah, she should be. Yes, I would be very happy to hear her.
Is she here?
No, she's just Telegram. Right now on Telegram, not on the Skype yet.
All right.
I think. Do you have her Skype username?
Yeah, it's in the spreadsheet. Just a second.
Yeah, guys. By the way, regarding the yes, you mentioned regarding the videos with Alexei and Eugenie. So yeah, basically like the videos with Eugenie, they're upcoming. So just there are, yeah, as we have explained before that to advisors, there are a couple of kind of security concerns that are normally on the side of any like post-Soviet ICO enthusiast who also happened to participate in one of those that did manage to collect some funds. Just because your face on the web, is pretty much a problem in itself. Simply because there are all kinds of criminal guys who finally are waking up to understand that these cryptocurrencies are in fact much less secure means and medium of store of value, simply because if you know that a guy has a big bank account or something like this, it's not that easy to extract these funds from him still than if you know that the guy has a key from a wallet. So simply because the key from a wallet is something very personal and private, and so you can just basically approach the guy and you know that this guy has them somewhere, these keys, while at the same time, you cannot do the same with a bank account, at least not so easily. So that's why we, given that I, for example, myself, don't live in Russia, for me it's a bit less of a concern. For Alexei, for example, it's a bit more of a concern. Moreover, he is our kind of like a strategic plan producer or something like this, and so he's not that good in like speaking English, basically not good at all. But at the same time, so that's why he was quite reluctant to be present in the videos and stuff like this. And so basically a similar story goes to Eugenie, but Eugenie will be popping up on one video or another quite soon. So we are currently having our office being set up. So we basically bought rented a garage, and currently we're renovating it so that to be able to accommodate our needs, including the internet, conditioners, because it's quite critical in Cyprus where we currently are, and this type of stuff. So once we're gonna have this office, we're gonna have the people who are currently already working and kind of a bit scattered in several co-working spaces and stuff like this here in Cyprus and elsewhere. So once all these people will be sitting in one office, that's going to be a much different story. That's part of those organizational matters I was telling about. So a lot of things go on, and a bit difficult to keep it all well organized straight from the beginning. We hope to be able to do so while the ICO was still going, but that's pretty much a utopic concept to be able to do at least anything apart from the ICO during the ICO. Extremely time-consuming process. So anyway, so that's concerning the video with Alexei and Eugenie. So Eugenie will be there quite soon. Alexei will probably as well. Eugenie for sure. So has Sonia joined by any chance? No, apparently no.
I think she has some problem with joining. although we've sent her an invite. I think there are some technical issues. But anyway, I think we can go on. And Ahsan, are you here?
Ahsan.
Ahsan.
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
Perfect.
Sure,
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Norton here? I
Sorry?
think Norton here?
Yeah, I think Norman is here. He's on a train, so he may be on mute. He's on a BART train, and Viv is also here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Sure. Go ahead.
There were two more concerns I had. One was that there are other ICOs coming up with the same idea as Spade. And the second one was the social media thing. So Reddit, Twitter, Facebook maybe. Do you already have guys who are on this, or do you need some more stuff?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, with regard to this, we know that we haven't been very active in this media channels, but now we have dedicated people who are gonna post all the news, all updates, all changes of schedules and so forth on all of these channels, so that the community that's, let's say, on Facebook and is not on Telegram, they also know what's going on at Spade. So we do have, and we're going to start, we're going to become much more active everywhere. Also in light of the technical developments at Spade, which, of course, we believe they should be much more widespread rather than just announced in Telegram or on the forum.
Yeah, well, so basically, still there was a problem that just until recently there was not so much to announce in the end. So because because we were sharpening the concept primarily and doing some preliminary code work. Yet, gentlemen, I will inform you that by Friday, we just want to make it. I want to make this thing at least, right? This part of the public communication, right? So with no screw ups, no nothing. So by Friday, we're gonna prepare so I think it's gonna be like Thursday in Pacific time, and it's gonna be like probably early Saturday in some more eastern countries. So, but approximately on Friday, something like morning or probably closer to the noon, we're gonna make a major update, which I really would be happy if we could make a similar meeting to discuss. Just because it's always frequently easier to make it in voice, than in letters. Frequently, probably this time as well. So we're gonna make a major update on the technical side. So because we are not one of those ICOs that collected the funds and went on Ibiza. So we actually haven't even had really so much rest on. Since the ICO itself. But anyway, so we're gonna have a major update. We would like to really discuss the thing because that's, it will illustrate like our current view upon, what Spade is, what it has to be, what it has to become, and what kind of technical challenges stay in front, and what kind of business, and organizational administrative matters are in front of it as well. So. Anyway, will be a major update from the technological side, major text, and probably even a bit of something more interactive than just text. And let's basically discuss this whole thing on a similar call on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, whatever suits your convenience better. And starting from there, we're gonna have more or less a regular updates, which will incorporate the description of what is going on, purely technical, B, some kind of a text that would, explain to a layman what exactly is going on. So like what this spec does, how it does it, what kind of concepts stay behind it. That's, by the way, one of the very challenging things which, in case if there is anyone with good technical background and good writing skills who would really like be we would very much welcome some kind of cooperation on this side, because it's like it requires deep research to understand what is going on, and then it requires very good writing skills in order to be able to summarize it, and summarize it in such a way that anybody would understand, because you understand this whole crypto stuff is very complex. And Spade in particular is like double complex, because it's, pretty much we're inventing something that doesn't exist as of now. So, and there will be also some kind of just general inquiries into, like technical update, explanation of what this update implies and what technology it is based upon, and some, general texts on the, like history of random number generators, something like this, So something not technical, but just enriching the mindset of any, like the knowledge base, let's say, of any guy who wants to understand what is going on this entire project. So this will be the things. There will be a regular schedule for these releases, and we're going to be making them on a regular basis. And Friday will be like the major turning point. We hope that this is going to be perceived as such. In the protocol.
It's all nice to hear.
Perfect.
Because at the moment I think the price is really low because people are only speculating from the point of view that it's really low now and it might go up some days or ever. And when there's a product developing and people know what you guys are doing and where you are at the process, people are going to be speculating more, and there will be more volume. You'll get a coin market cap, more knowledge about Spade, more people know about the project. I think a little small amount of people know about Spade and what it is. So that that's what I think. Next to all this, I had the question, what are you planning to do with us 4 or 5 now admins? Where were you planning to go, or your plans with us?
Gentlemen, so let me just, it's up to Lou primarily too, because he is primarily busy with operational stuff on the project side. Let me just do one thing. One of the things that I'm just, it's just my purely personal initiative, suggest, in case if anybody of you is interested in something like this, anybody who would be able to help me on the research side, with exactly those technical articles which I was telling to you about before, anybody is very welcome. So we're going to be posting some of the topics in our group, with basically anybody who can contribute with finding the sources or summarizing some part of just, for example, if anybody would be able to say, guys, this thing is so interesting, I'm just going to make this article myself. Anything like this is very welcome. So, but that's very much a side thing. So, not the major undertaking. So, Lou, what are our thoughts on the rest?
So what we plan to do is we want to have you in Telegram, of course. But more importantly, we want to have you on the forum as moderators, because the majority of the news that we're going to announce are going to be on the forum, where we can have normal, constructive conversation with any and all of our investors, rather than having a couple of lines on Telegram, which are seen just by a very limited amount of people, just because of the nature of Telegram, which is basically a chat rather than a normal communication platform. So on the forum, we would be very, very happy to have you there to moderate everything that goes on. Also in terms of support, because still there are many people, there are many of our investors that are not really familiar with all the technical aspects of Spade. Perhaps they've read the white paper, but also they might not be really technically inclined. And in the future, the content that we are going to announce is going to become more and more technical. And there will be a lot of questions that we will need answering, and we would be very happy if you could do that for a start. What is this something that you would be interested in the first place?
Yeah, from my point of view, yes. I don't know about the other guys, but I thought there were more people than besides me who were interested in managing the forum and those kind of things.
Yeah, great. This is really nice. You could, of course, join the rest of the social media, like Reddit. Although there we are going to have other people who are going to moderate and oversee the content. But you, of course, are welcome to basically inform our community everywhere. This of course also a possibility. This what we are planning to do in the next like a month or 2 months. Do you have any other question?
I wanted to ask questions about the usage of SPX, because looking at Spade, as much as I know, I think Spade doesn't have, it's not going to operate a casino. Neither is it going to have a gambling platform. So I was thinking, how would you persuade someone who's running a casino to use SPX over fiat currency, knowing that there are so many other games and it is not having a particular game. It's not having a platform. It's not having a casino on its own. So how do you convince people to, make use of SPX instead of using fiat currency?
Yeah, guys. So here, let me just answer this quite quickly. So this is, by the way, this is like one of the parts of the things which I don't want to disclose completely right now, because it's going to be very much elaborated upon on Friday, and we don't want to, raise the, this kind of curtain, I don't know, iron curtain. So like we don't want to disclose too much of this information as of now. So Friday will be, will be released. But like just on the first place, we don't need to convince anybody basically to use the token. It's just a very much obvious thing to do on the side of any. It will be a very obvious thing to do on the side of any casino, simply because it gives a very huge marketing edge over the competitors. So our idea is very simple. So the tokens in the beginning, in the core, so like the core platform protocol, the core concept of Spade, is the distributed random number generation. So any casino that basically can just say that, guys, within our walls, you are playing a fair game. You're not being cheated, scammed, or in any other way, manipulated into gambling more and more. But all the things are transparent and fair. Anybody who would like to give such a message, to put such a message in front of their audience, will be given such an opportunity by Spade, and in order to use this opportunity, they will require to buy the tokens. That's basically it. So like here, the SPX will not be used as a betting chip, because for the betting chip, that's pretty much a separate story. Any betting chip has to be first and foremost price stable. That's the most important. So like given the nature of the volatile nature of any crypto, current SPX as we have it right now. So again, so that's it's a separate topic of development and it's separate thread in the development roadmap, and that's gonna be there sooner or later. But it requires major modifications because SPX must be stable. Otherwise, anybody gambling using SPX basically gambles twice. They gamble on the game itself and on the price, the exchange rate of SPX. Nobody, would like to take such, few at least would like to take such risk. That's why it's a separate story how to make an SPX gambling chip, but the SPX as we have it right now will be used by the casinos in any case, just in order to be able to buy the entropy, the randomness that feeds their games. And it's a very simple concept, very intuitive, the simpler it is, the more clear it is for the participants. So anybody who would like to use Spade as a randomness provider can do so only by buying the SPX. it's the only way to get this random numbers going, So this is very simple concept. This is how we're gonna persuade, not even persuade, but just not convince it. It's just a natural way to be paying for services. Just in our case, it's not dollars that you are paying with. Well, effectively it is dollars, but like you need to buy the token to be able to use the service. So that's basically it. Once we're speaking already about the gambling platform, once we're talking about already like more like broader things than just random number generation per se, which is in the end the core of the protocol, then there are different ways of how we can make this happen. It's gonna come later than the PRNG itself, and there is no other way how to persuade casinos to be using us, but but them willing to use our random numbers. So it's primarily marketing and business development, nothing more. So no magic, nothing else but that. So all simple ways.
Yeah, it's the priority was the transparency blockchain brings.
Exactly.
I thought it was. Yes.
Exactly. So first and foremost, we need to offer that's once again. Let's I would be very much excited to discuss these things with you on Friday, like Saturday or Sunday call, whatever, after the release of the guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I thought the connection was. So but so on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday call, let's discuss this in depth. We're gonna tell you how our views evolved through our conversations with the industry experts on both sides of the for like crypto, non-crypto, players in the industry. So both sides of the barricades. We're going to tell you what currently our vision upon the product is as of now, what we have developed so far, because I'm going to go as far as to say that we already have well, anyway, let me postpone it until Friday, guys, please. Otherwise, I want to say too much. So, So that's basically the idea. Currently, the transparency, the cryptographically secure and transparent generation of randomness is our core, is our goal, and we're gonna persuade the casinos just by offering them the service.
So did it make clear?
Yeah, that's quite clear. I asked that question because I'm running a small casino business, and looking at the solutions Speed is bringing on board, like quick payment settlement, having the randomness, and the last being the transaction phase, zero transaction phase. I needed to know what you just explained. And the other question I had about the team, and why we had the advisors and the main team removed from the website. I know this has been answered a couple of times on the Telegram group, but I still think about as a new investor who wants to put in money in Speed, want to invest in the project. The first thing they have to do is go over the website and try to see the people there, who are the people behind this project, and how good the team is. But the way it is right now, if I'm a new investor and I go there, I have nothing to fall back on to know that these are the team and these are the advisors. So what is the team doing about getting the advisors and the team back on the website?
Yeah, basically, let me just give a more mature explanation for this, and then afterwards we're gonna also explain what was driving us when we did it. So if you take a look at any, well, not probably any, but many projects that that have undergone the ICO part and have gone into something more mature, let's say, more mature stage of development, you will see that, let's take, it's just, as an example, just the first thing that came into mind. If you're going to take a look at Funfair, let's say, well, our major competitor, so to say, if you're gonna just take a look at these guys right now, they have they have also like they've undergone a successful ICO. They raised a lot of money. So if you're gonna take a look at them right now, I'm looking at it like I really haven't prepared this. Just looking at it right now, there is no team. There is no team. There is about. There is contact us. There are like all those things, but like there is no there are not those things that normally are associated with any ICO. So you're gonna have a team. You're gonna have advisors. You're gonna have everything else. So once the company is already mature, these things are not anymore put just on a website, just like this. So there is, of course, like we're always there in the Telegram, we're there in the white paper in the end, our pictures and explains who we are. But like the website itself, once it has this, this kind of, like normal structure of a landing page, and then afterwards what the token does, some video from YouTube, there a couple of faces from a team, there's some advisors, this right away gives you an impression of an ICO. This right away gives you an impression of the people asking you for money right now. So we don't want to make this impression anymore. We just basically want to make an impression of a professional company which has a website as the professional company website. So that was our major rationale behind removing the faces. Just because this is how things look in the more grown up, let's say, phase. So at the same time, there were also these concerns about the security, which I have explained before. And also, guys, there is also like another thing. We have fired a couple of quite lazy guys who were doing the website for us. And so there were major things that happened because of this. And basically, we also fired them because of a couple of other things that preceded this. So just the website update, which was supposed to be a major epic stuff, it all unfortunately went sideways because there were like the poorest practices of maintaining the version control, and so the initial situation with removal of team from the website was a result of this. So like they were like. Well, never mind. It was an organizational problem. Hopefully, the last major organizational problem. Now we don't have these guys with us no more, and we're gonna have instead a couple of guys who know what they're doing. So basically, like a good explanation for why there is no team on the website anymore is because we want to move into more like professional, grown-up domain. Where there is all the info about the company, there is also all the info regarding how to contact us. Still, the white paper campaigns out pictures anyway, but at the same time, it looks more professional. A more realistic explanation for this is because we screwed up majorly with the version update of the website, and that's why it went. Like that, basically.
Okay, so we can just answer the community that they can still. Look you up on the white paper, and further, there are some technical issues will be resolved soon, something like this.
Yeah. So the website will just look more professional.
Yeah. Okay. Then I still had another question about we get payments in a fixed amount of SPX tokens, but like you said, Mikhail. When you gamble with SPX tokens, it's a double gamble because of the worth of the token, and that's also what we feel like if we get a fixed amount of SPX tokens for our work. So what we proposed is an fixed USD amount, and it can be converted to SPX. That doesn't matter. We can get paid out in SPX, but not a fixed amount of SPX, as the worth of the token changes every hour. What were your thoughts about this?
So regarding these guys, that's let us do it this way. In our group, if you don't mind, let us just post, today or tomorrow. Let us just post several options that we would make available for, anybody can choose any of them. So one of them will basically have, as I see it right now, one of them will be a fixed dollar amount, another one will be a fixed SPX amount. So one of them is more, more beneficial right now. Another one will be probably more beneficial in the future, assuming the token goes up, of course. And of course it's gonna go up. So so these things we're gonna just we're gonna make these things available just in the group, and you guys can choose for yourself whatever you prefer more. And whatever you prefer will be, your word is the law in this case. So whatever you prefer, we're gonna make it. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being with, for being here, for having faith in the project.